If Ministry of Finance can only have 22% if Ministry of Finance can only have 22%
Our invited guest, I remain Rep. Marie Enenimiete Ebikake, representing the wonderful and peace-loving people of Brass Nembe Federal Constituency. I am from Bayelsa State. My question is on page 5 of your document, page 5, where you have training general. Training general. I think it's listed on number 5 on page 5. You have 250 billion, 215 million, 312, 702. Then you have local training again, the same amount. Then other services general is quite vague. It's not as explicit. Other services general. What do you mean by other services general for 110 million? Thank you.
Properties, little things like chairs, table, and abandoned properties, very obsolete properties that some people bought for peanuts, and also rent from the canteen space.
You mean abandoned, unused office equipment, not properties.
Okay.
Office equipment, so that you are not quoted out of context.
You're right, Mr. Chairman. So actually, and then rent from canteen space. And then regarding the IGR proposal for 2025, I would like to hand over to PAMSEC to clarify.
I would like to answer my sister from Bayelsa. She made reference to local training general and other services. If you look at the breakdown,
local training general and another general training.
Yeah.
Same figure.
Yes. The training in Federal Ministry of Finance, we have the international training, which the components include transport and the training cost. Then there are other trainings which comes along with other services. So these two figures, the breakdowns are there. The other service is for security and cleaning. They are all under the general services, which has been broken down.
Let me explain. So in finance, the total is on top, not below. So when you see that figure, that line 5 is the total summation of all training programs. Since only local training was attended, so the total is the same amount. If we had done international training, it would be a summation of the local and international that you will see above. So that's how this is. So it's not, the total is not below, it's on top. So general service is 110, which is a summation of security services 75 million, and the cleaning and fumigation 35. Two of them add up to 110. So that's the that's the clarification for it. Right. That's it.
You refer to, the two figures are all the same. It's just one item. It's just one item, not two. Because there was no international training. Any question on 2025? Minister, you are asking for 25 billion increase in your envelope. My own question will be that where do we pick it from? Where do you expect us to get that money from? That will be my question. Brought by Mr. President.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. One thing is to go for bilateral to defend, another outline your challenges at the defense. And that's why we have two segments, the executive and the legislative. And we brought it to the legislative committee to see our plight, despite the fact that the envelope that was given to us was meager. But it would be unfair for us not to state it. And they saw our plight, they saw the problem. And that is why they graciously agreed to look into our matter.
Who?
The Senate Committee on Finance.
But you have to convince us. If we don't look into it, that is dead on arrival. You have to convince the House.
Thank you, sir.
When it comes to appropriation, the House has the superior power. You understand? The Senate has a confirmation authority. We have the appropriation authority. So you need to know the distinction between the two. So you have to convince us so that we can be on the same page. You know, I mean, for me, as Chairman of Finance, I know that of budget sessions with revenue generating agencies, and we saw some loopholes where we're able to have an increase in our expected revenue. I just wanted you to guide us, but I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. If you're asking for 25 billion, it depends. 5 billion additional overhead. When you spent, you had 3 point something in your budget. You understand? Is it to take care of the so-called exchange differentials and all the rest, like you said? Am I right?
Yes, Chairman.
Okay. Colleagues, any further questions? If none, can they? Sorry? Okay. Your small meager revenue, no matter how meager it is, 14 million, was it remitted?
Yes. And we'll provide the evidence to
You will
committee.
provide the treasury?
Yes, it was remitted.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. If we need any further questions, we will invite you. Honourable Minister, you might take your leave.
Thank you very much.
Fiscal responsibility. We don't want too much stories. Just go straight to the point, please.
In request to your letter, we submitted a 19-page document. With your permission, I will go through the pages. Pages 1 to 3 are copies of the Commission's 2025 Appropriation Act for capital, overhead, and personnel costs. The summary as contained on page 1 has personnel costs with a total sum of 255 million 753 naira 579 naira as our overhead, with a total of 515 million 152,803 naira as our capital cost, bringing a total cost of 1 billion 415,357,040 naira of fiscal responsibility, capital appropriation, personnel and overhead, 1.4 million naira. So pages 4 to 7 contain the GIFMIS printout of the Commission's fund releases for capital, overhead and personnel costs for the year 2024. Our capital releases as at 31st December 2024 is a total sum of 246,481,918 naira 79 kobo. This is representing 38.18% of the total appropriation for the year. The recurrent appropriation was fully released as at 31st December 2024. Our personnel costs totaling 255,753 naira was released and expended by the Commission via IPs, representing 100% of the total appropriation on personnel for the year. So, but we make haste here to add that our personnel appropriation exhausted as at October. We had to ask for augmentation to enable our staff to be paid for October, November, and December. This delayed our staff payment for the period, sometimes up to 3 weeks. We also observed that we also provided with insufficient appropriation for personnel, again in the 2025. I'll comment on that later, sir. The summary of Commission's budget performance is on page 8. The Commission was allocated a very tight personnel appropriation in 2020, leaving no room for promotion, some allowances, which we experienced like the peculiar allowances. The information on the Commission's IGR is on pages 11 to 14. We are conscious of the fact that the CRF needs every fund, and we submit that every agency, MDA, is a revenue-earning agency, and we should do that. We submitted our total revenue of 17,123,733 naira 48 kobo. The detailed schedule is as contained on pages 11 to 14 of our document. 2025 budget proposal for the Commission. We make haste to repeat that whatever we have here is based on the budget, the envelope given to us. And we further say that it's insufficient for the Commission to continue to achieve our mandate under the Fiscal Responsibility Act. The Commission, based on is proposing an estimated, we're optimistic that if we are supported and better funded, we can achieve a lot more for the CRF. On pages 16 to 19 are the breakdowns of the Commission's 2025 appropriation bill, already forwarded to the Budget Office of the Federation. Summary of the appropriation estimate is on page 16. The total proposed for personnel is 361,871,230 naira. Our overhead envelope is 738,291,539 naira, and the capital is 596,913,905 naira, bringing a gross total proposed appropriation for FRC in 2005 to 1,697,697,694 naira. This is also summarized with details on page 19 of the document already submitted. It's imperative, Your Excellency, to bring to your attention that the 2025 budget proposal is predicated upon the budget ceiling imposed by the Commission, on the Commission by the Budget Office of the Federation. Sir, with your kind permission, I'll further add that with the critical role we play in it's imperative to bring to your attention that the 2025 is predicated upon the budget ceiling as submitted by the Budget Office of the Federation. Yes. With your permission and leave, we seek to say that our role in getting the government-owned enterprise and revenue agencies, because we believe every agency is a revenue-generating agency, no matter the percentage. With the role we play, we have added impetus over the years in independent revenue of the federal government. Not just because of work, because of your support. In 2022, a total of 1.3 trillion comprising 181 billion as operating surplus and 1.1 trillion as IGR from NDS was tracked and facilitated with your support by the Commission. This figure was improved upon in 2023 as a total sum of 1.8 trillion was generated. On record, and as of September 2024, we have the records that a total of 1.1 trillion 861 billion had already been generated and remitted to CRF in 2024. Sir, we are sure that with the continuous support and better funding of our commission, we can confidently aim to do much more to reach the CRF. Chairman, sir, and committed members of this committee, I want to, on behalf of management and staff of Fiscal, appeal to you, as usual, that we will continue to support, we crave your indulgence for an improved funding of our commission. We believe we've made a case, we've written the Budget Office, we've written the Honorable Minister for Finance, and we've also appealed to your committee, and we've appealed to the joint committees of both the Finance and Appropriation to take a second look at the budget of Fiscal Responsibility Commission. This is a commission that is charged with monitoring and enforcing Fiscal Responsibility Act, getting agencies to pay funds, and our total budget is 1.6 billion. Our staff needs specialized training to be able to monitor revenues and oversee expenditures in high-profile blue-chip government-owned enterprises like NNPC, NCC, and a lot more. We have little or nothing to discharge this mandate. We're also challenged by the act we have. We have made this case, and we want to appeal to you again once again. The act needs to be strengthened. We've said it that easiest way to implement the budget, which is the most important critical law of this parliament, is by ensuring that Fiscal Responsibility Act is stronger. The act needs to be strong so that public officials will know that for every infraction or violation of either the Fiscal Responsibility Act or the Finance Law, or indeed any law covering the appropriation, that there must be a consequence. Presently, the Act has 54 offenses without one punishment. So, sir, you can see why we are where we are. We need the Act to be amended so that we can ensure the full implementation of the budget. Sir, I beg to stop here, and with your permission, I will stop here, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chairman.
You don't come here and start preaching to us what we know. You know, if we want to take you up further, we will take you up in your activities. As far as we know today, there is no agency of government that keeps money in the commercial banks. I'm sure that all funds are remitted to CBN accounts. And so when you talk about monitoring and remittances and fiscal responsibility, your job is limited. If you want us to take you up, we'll take you up. Because, I mean, when you make statements, you deserve some response. So please, next time when you come to us, face the issues before us. Thank you.
Duty, because you have other maintenance, like maintenance of motor vehicles, office furniture, buildings, equipment, plants, and generators, and other things. So I think this other maintenance services.
602. I will clarify it on the point that these are different budget items and codes based on appropriation. And these are programs we do because the Act mandates us to ensure that not just the subnationals due into the Fiscal Responsibility Act, because we're operating a federalism. It's not by compulsion that states and local government will adopt fiscal responsibility law. You have to carry out a lot of awareness, training, and sensitization. The first is on subnationals and civil society. This was carried out in line with the Appropriation Act and as coded. It can never be sufficient, sir, because we have 36 states, we have 6 zones, and we have 774 local governments who keep engaging and enlightening the society. Even Section 54 of the Fiscal Responsibility Act made it very clear that we should continue to do that and mandate citizens to take interest in that law without seeking for a special order of court before they can even ask questions. So it's our duty to carry it out. I'll go straight to the issue of the Chairman, with your permission, I will invite my DFA to clarify on some of the issues of budget lines, because I may not be an expert in that area. Thank you.
I'm the current DFA of the Commission. Thank you, sir. A question was asked on the local travel and transport training and also local travel and transport orders. These items are 2 different things, but handling on the same thing, local travels. One on training and the other one orders, and you also see local travel, local training. The one LT&T training is for DTA purposes. While we have while we have local training for the course fees. So one line item handles the course fee, the other handles the DTA for the training. Then we have LT&T for other movement, official assignment movement without relating to training. So those are the differences. That's why you have those 3 lines, and they were given to us according to the accounting codes from the Ministry of Finance. Thank you, sir.
And then in your statement, you also said that your salaries, the appropriation for 2024 was not enough to pay salaries. And you had to write for further intervention for October, November, December. Your salaries are paid by through the RPP, or whatever they call it. Huh?
Yes, sir.
They are paid direct, not you.
Not at all. It's not through the IPs, through the Office of Accounting.
So if your salaries are paid through IPs, what's your headache? All your staff must be paid, as long as those staffs are on the IP's platform. IP's platform, if they are there, they must be paid. So why are you bothered about that? It's like taking the responsibility of personnel or your salaries away from you, actually. It is handled centrally. So if you are supposed to make a submission to them so that they can capture the entire figure. I think that the letters you wrote to us has nothing to do with salaries. Is that correct?
Very well, sir. But a certain arrears we have been writing. We also have need also to replace. We've been saying it when they are in need of staff. We need your support, sir. I've said it severally. We need opening. Fiscal responsibility needs to recruit more staff, experts. For us to contribute to this, we need your support, sir.
2024, 2.318 billion, which was 100%, done, and the overhead cost of 744 million, which was also 100% done. The capital for 2024 was 206 million naira, which was also 100% executed. And then you can see on page 3 the breakdown on how from January to December we had shortfall, but of course this was the whole nation because of the salary increment and the 25% bonus of Mr. President, which IPPS and Finance handled successfully. On page 4, you see the breakdown.
On page 3, December, no salary payment?
On page 3?
For December?
For December, it was paid, sir.
So why did you put dash?
DFP, what?
Hello, sir. Mr. Chairman, sir, clarification on
but you have made a remark, a note.
Okay, thank you, sir. And then on page 4, you see the approved budget, the actual release, and the actual expenditure, which is 100%. Now, coming to 2025, we have on page 7 a total of allocation of 5.58 billion with a personnel cost of 3.599 billion, and then capital budget for 2025 906,120,895, and then overhead 1.066 billion for 2025. All the explanations are in the tables on page 8 and page 7. And then there is an attachment of the schedule releases from GIFMIS all the way to the end of the document. And then we have also attachment of the summary of the appropriation for 2025, like I read out. So it's very clear and very detailed. I will also thank you, Mr. Chairman, and the committee for taking interest in doing what you did for our commission. You know we will come back again after all the things are harmonized as regards to our bill and act. I didn't talk about lack of this, lack of that, because I know eventually you are going to invite us back once the processes that you initiated over the years is completed by the stakeholders. So with these short remarks, I thank you and your committee members.
On the items you line office rent, where you put budget of 40, page 8, office rent. We want to know where and the location of this office rent and why. Because if it is a state, I believe each of the state governments should allot an office to you, not on renting. Because each of the states in 36 states have federal secretariats where other agencies have been domiciled. Thank you.